Hi Flosstube, this is Veronica with Night Stitch, and today I'm going to do a planning video for 2025. I don't normally do a planning video because I've never made it to the end of the year doing Flosstube consistently. I usually drop off at some point and don't make videos, and so it's not for anything bad. I'm just busy stitching and I get busy with the holidays and then I just forget or whatever. Anyway, this year I decided that I would set some plans, and I'm gonna do a shout out. So normally I do a shout out at the end of the video, but this time I'm doing it in the beginning because the shout out is one of the reasons how I came up with some of my plans. So my shout out is Jen the Caffeinated Crafter, and I've been watching her channel for a while now. I think I'm on like video 40 something. I first found her when YouTube suggested one of her whip parades, and I think it was like 2023 whip parade. So I watched it, but I wasn't quite sure like what she was doing because she had a lot of goals and a lot of like categories and things, because she had the number of whips that I remember her having before. Hang on. Okay, so I watched her whip parade and I liked it a lot, so I went back and watched her older videos. And in her older videos, she explained how she got to having 139 whips. And I really liked her whip parade because I like seeing all the variety of things that she stitches. And I really like watching videos of people that have a lot of whips. So I went back and watched the beginning of her videos because I was curious too how she got to that many whips. Because I thought I had a lot of whips, but she has me beat by, as of what I'm watching now, like more than 80. So I think she has more now because I'm not in her newer videos. And the video that I just watched of her, she said she had planned to start a bunch more things from what she had before. So in the hundreds of whips anyway. But so I watched her and I really liked her, and she's been inspiring me because she has managed to work on almost all of her whips even though she has 139. And so the way that she had done it was she had a bucket with like paper inside it with all of her whips, and she would draw out of the bucket, and then for whatever amount of time she was doing, I think it was 2 weeks between each of her floss tubes, she would work on some of the projects that she pulled out of the bucket. And I really liked that idea because I thought that would work for my 50 whips that I have now. And I also plan on doing new starts as well. So, but my problem with my whips is that I like all of them, but I run my decision wheel. So there's a digital app. So it's basically the same thing as pulling out of a bucket, but it's digital. So I spin the wheel. I have all my whips numbered. So I spin like a number wheel. So then if the decision picks like 30, number 30, I'll go on my computer and I'll look and see which whip I have as number 30, and then I'll work on it. And then I'll set like an arbitrary goal on the whip that I pull. And it works fine, but then the problem is like I'm not consistent, so then I don't have a set amount of time between when I spin the decision wheel. I just spin it when I feel like I want to work on something different. And so then as a result, some of my whips kind of languish in my whip bin. And I don't want that to happen this next year. I wanted something that would be more consistent with how I choose whips. So thanks to Jen the Caffeinated Crafter, I have decided to I'm gonna use this popcorn bin, and I'm gonna write all of my whips on paper and tear them up and put them in here, and then I'll shake it up and I'll draw whips. So I'm gonna do that, and I'm not gonna set a goal for them like she did in the beginning. So when she did a whip parade, like, and then for each project that she showed, she assigned an arbitrary goal. Not arbitrary. She assigned a goal that whatever came to her mind for that whip. And then that was the goal that she had for the entire year. I'm not going to do that because I change my mind too often. And so if I set a goal on something in January and I pull it in like February, there's no guarantee that I'm going to want to do that goal in February. And so then it's going to make me not want to work on the project or whatever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the whip, and then I also like my decision wheel. So I'm not going to ditch the digital thing completely. So I'm going to do a combination. So I'm going to pull from here maybe like 5 projects, and then I'm going to spin my decision wheel 1 through 5 and see which of those projects it pulls, and then I'll work on that. And then when I finish the goal, because when I pull the number, say I pull whip number 3, then I'll assign a random goal to it that day when I work on it. And then when that's done, then I'll spin the wheel again, and then I'll just work on all 5 for however long in between the floss tubes. Like, I'll do a floss tube, and then I'll do the the bucket draw, and then I'll work on stuff, and then I'll show you next time on the floss tube. So yes, thank you, Jen, the Caffeinated Crafter, for that idea. And I really like your channel. You inspire me. So I'm going to keep watching and enjoying. So, okay, that's my very long shout out at 7 minutes and 30 seconds. There are some other things that I will be doing as well as what I've just described. So I have been seeing temperature cells for a while, and I was kind of debating whether I wanted to do one or not. And I'm not really somebody that likes to do something that everybody else is doing. I have like the opposite of FOMO. So like, some people don't want to miss out, so they have to do everything other people are doing. I have the opposite, where I'm like, oh, everybody's doing that, I don't want to do that. So I had that with the temperature cell a little bit. But then this year I was like, well, it's December and January is coming up soon. So now would kind of be the perfect time to decide if I should do a temperature cell or not, because then I can actually start at the beginning of the year. And so I decided that I would. So then I started looking for a temperature cell that I liked. And my other problem with the temperature cells in the previous years were that I didn't really see one that I wanted to stitch. So like, it's just about style. It's not about like whether the temperature cell is good or bad, or, you know, like, obviously the designer has their own style, and so if you don't like it, then you don't buy it. So there's a lot of ones where it's like, I've seen ones that are like gardening, which I'm not into gardening. There's ones that are like, there's a potion bottle one, which I like alcohol bottles, but I'm not really into the potion bottles, so I didn't want to do that one. And then there's like random like animal ones I think I've seen, and like, yeah. So I was just having a hard time finding something that I wanted to stitch, especially if I'm gonna stitch on it all year. I need to have it be something I really want. So I finally found one, and let me look on my computer here for the name of the shop, because I got it from Etsy. Okay, so it's called the skyline temperature cell. So it's like a city skyline with like buildings. And that is perfect for me because not only do I like beaches, but I like city skylines. So I found one. So I bought that, and it's from Zara Design Studio on Etsy. So I'm going to do that for my temperature cell. And um, I live in the Midwest, so Midwest United States. And my state has all 4 seasons, and the weather is schizophrenic sometimes because it'll be like wintertime and then it'll be like 50 degrees, which is really odd for the state I live in because it's like usually very cold. So I'm not going to do the averages. I'm going to do the either the high or the low. So let's say on January 1st the low is like 10 and then the high is 30. So I'm not going to do the average, but I'm going to do whatever seems. I'm either going to do the high or the low, whatever I feel like for the day. So I've thought about doing it more like the extreme. So like if the high is extremely weird temperature, I'll do that just so that I have a very colorful chart. I think that my temperature cell, the color scheme will probably work. I may add more colors for the colder temperatures just because the state I live in has a lot of wind, and so the wind chill is actually makes it feel a lot colder than it is. So I might even like put the temperature plus the wind chill, like how it feels, just so I get a really colorful chart. So I'm excited to do that. That's my first new thing that I've never done before. I'm going to continue doing my advent calendar by Doreen Jones. It's a Christmas advent calendar, and it was a set of 24. And I did 5 of them, I believe, this year. So I have 19 left. And I wanted to actually get it so I could have all of the pieces fully finished so that I can actually play my advent calendar game in December of 2025. So I will work on one of those days every few months or days, or I don't know. I haven't like scheduled it all out yet as far as like how many stitches I need and how many of the patterns I would have to finish in order to get it done by December. But I'll figure that all out and then I will do that because I do want to actually play the advent game. So and then I decided I would participate in Stitch Mania in 2025. I have a bunch of magazines, and so I thought I kind of forget about them because I put them on the shelf and then I just don't think about them, even though I have I listed the patterns that I wanted to do in my computer, so I have them if I ever like look at my new starts, which I feel like I don't do that either, so I need to do something about that. So anyway, magazine mania. I'm gonna stitch patterns out of a magazine for Stitch Mania. I haven't decided whether I want to do one new start every day. It depends on how many magazine things I have. I think I have like 3 magazines. So we'll see. That's another one that I'll have to calculate things and whatever. Okay, and the last thing that I'm planning to do is WhipGo. I did WhipGo in 2024 and I had a lot of fun and it got me to work on my projects a lot. So, well, at least the ones that I pulled for WhipGo because I did 25 projects. But I'm gonna go into detail about WhipGo in a different video. So that's all that I have for the planning for 2025 for this section anyway. I'm gonna stop filming and then start again with the WIPGO goals video. But I'm also gonna throw in, these are the plans I have for now. I'm sure that in the next year there will be stitch alongs that come out that I want to do, or new patterns that I see that I want to do. So those will get thrown in as well. So these plans are going to be there, but then other things will definitely be added to them. I'm gonna have to do something about the starts, because I have a bunch of things in stash that I want to start that I have not, and that I just forget about. Because you know how it goes, right? You buy from Etsy because everything is cute, and then you put it in your stash, and then you don't think about it, and then yeah. So maybe I'll do another bucket thing for new starts, and then every few whatever I feel like I'll pull a new start. Maybe I'll do that. And oh, I was also gonna do a bucket for Stitch Mania. So I'll put all the magazine patterns that I want to do on paper, and then I'll pull them out, and then I'll go from there. So that's all that I have today. So thank you again for watching, liking, subscribing, and commenting, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.